Hello everyone, Arthur from Baltic Car Garage here, and in this video I will show you how a base spec, a poverty spec BMW 5 Series E60 can look like in Europe. Now this video will be very interesting for people from other markets such as the United States, where the specification and equipment levels for the cars you could get there are completely different than what you can get in Europe. Okay, so this is a 2004 BMW 520i. So it's one of the early cars from 2004. I think they started manufacturing this model in 2003, and it comes with the M54 engine, which is actually 2.2 liters, producing around 160 horsepower, and it comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox in my case. As you can see from the walk around, it doesn't have the M Sport package, it's just the normal sedan with basically no bells and whistles. It isn't completely a base car. It does have a few options, but they are very few and nothing special. So let's start from the outside, from the options. It does have a sunroof. Someone chose to order this car with a sunroof. It does have xenon lights. You could order this with halogen lights as well. However, this is pretty rare. It came from the factory with these 16-inch wheels. Normally, usually it came with larger wheels, and in the case of the United States, I think the base model you could get was a 525i instead of a 520i. So from other options, it has a green tint on the windshield. That was actually also officially an extra. And it does have front and rear parking sensors. But that is pretty much it from the optional extras. Now, you could get the E60 in very different levels of equipment. Usually you get the M Sport package, which would make the front and rear of the car look different, with different bumpers, different wheels, different suspension settings, but there was a lot of room also for customization. One of the coolest features you could order was radar guided cruise control. In that case, this square of the bumper trim could be removed, and in place there would be like a little square that's a radar, and then you would have radar cruise control. Obviously, from the outside of the car you could also have tinted windows. You could also have your model badge over here. That's pretty common in Europe, but less common in other markets to have the model badge. In my case it would say 520i, but that wasn't selected. What else? You could have a really cool and actually rare feature. You could have double pane glass and soft closed doors, which this one doesn't have, but you could equip an E60 like that as well. Let's get to the inside of this car. Now you can see that the inside looks very basic, very simple, because it's almost base spec. First of all, it comes with cloth seats, which these ones are the dark cloth seats. You could also get like gray and beige cloth seats. All of the cloth seats though, and also some of the sports seats, came like this. They are half manually adjusted and half electrically adjusted. You could order them fully electrically adjustable as well, but this one is basic. They are actually really good and comfortable seats though. I don't mind them. But I don't think you could get these seats in the United States and other markets. In the United States, I believe you could order leather in different colors, leather sports seats, and leather comfort seats. You could also get all of these seats in Europe as well, but with the addition of these cloth seats. So, let's get into the car. What else do we see here? Obviously the manual transmission. That's a good option for someone. A good option not to have the automatic one, especially for a car like this. But a few things here. So if this car was better equipped, you would have more buttons here. Here from the optional extras, you only have the parking distance control button, so you can turn on and off the parking sensors. All E60s have this button, which is basically the traction control button. If I had heated or ventilated seats or other options, I would have them here. But this one is pretty empty. Now, all E60s came with a CD player. Some also came with a DVD player, where you could watch movies while the car was stationary. The more interesting thing with this one is the manual climate control. Most E60s had a dual zone or a 4-zone climate control, where you could also adjust the temperature individually for the passengers in the back. At least the dual zone climate control allowed you to adjust each side of the passengers, like for the driver and the passenger separately. But this one is the basic one, the manual air conditioning system, which means there's one temperature for the entire cabin. Thankfully, AC came as standard, but the options you have for adjustment are quite limited. It still works perfectly fine though, and it does have an auto function. But it is very limited, and here the temperature is adjusted like this. It's in Celsius, obviously. Yeah, I don't mind it. It works. From other options, this one has the plastic satin gray trim. This could be equipped in cooler models as well, with bigger engines like the 530i or even the 545i or the 530d. But in a lot of cases, the better cars, the more expensive ones with the larger engines, had wood trim or piano black trim. Yeah, so this one of course has the iDrive, which is standard for all BMW E60s. But this one is with the small screen. They came in two variants, one with the small screen and one with the large screen. And if I turn on the car, you can see how it looks like. So this is the CCC system, and I will just show you a few things here. So if we go up to communication, it says that mobile phone not installed, because that was an additional extra. I believe you could install it afterwards, but in this case it was never installed. If we go to entertainment, yeah, it has obviously the radio and the CD, no DVD, and this is the basic stereo system, which means it doesn't have the like Logic 7 or individual audio, so it's very basic, but it works well. Honestly, it's not bad. And if we go to climate, we see this is our only adjustment, warmer or cooler. That's it. If I had the better climate control system, I would have way more options to modify the airflow for the middle vents, the lower vents, the upper vents. Not in this case. So it's very simple. But yeah, from the interior, what I can show you additionally I can show you this armrest in the middle. This one is a single piece. Most E60 BMWs had this piece divided in two. So this partition would slide out separately, and this partition would open up separately to reveal a place for your phone. For this, it's just a single storage compartment, and this is quite rare. In general, such base spec cars are quite rare outside of Europe, and some European markets also have them equipped very nicely. But this is a German car, which means it was sold new in Germany, and in Germany you have quite a good variety of both very poorly equipped cars and very well equipped cars, and this one is one of the poorest equipment levels. The sunroof, optional extra, nice to have. Also, actually, from the optional extras, it has a self-dimming mirror. Yeah. The automatic wipers, I think they are standard for all BMW E60s. So there's just one thing I still want to show you from the extras that this one doesn't have, and therefore we have to move to the back. So what's wrong with the rear seat? Nothing is wrong with the rear seat except that it doesn't fold down. If you wanted to fold down your seats, you had to pay extra at the dealers to order it as an option. But what's even more disappointing is when I fold down the rear console. Obviously it has the cup holders, it has the storage bin right here. But here it's just a wall. And in most cases this wall would fall down, so you could put your skis through or any other longer items you might have in the trunk, but not in this case. So it is a damn shame, because I do go skiing in the winter and it will be very awkward with the skis. I would have to put them like diagonally here or something, and that's just not nice. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do have other cars in base specs to share with you, so please like, comment, favorite and subscribe as always, and I will see you in future videos. So thank you for watching.